Payback. Chapter 18. Now. A year later. Saturday, the day begins at 6 o'clock as soon as the bell rings. The sound of the bell is so loud it wakes us instantly even from a deep sleep. My cellmates and I get dressed, make up the beds, fold the mats and blankets then stack them tiddly. An hour later, the call door swings open and we all stand in a straight line for the head count. Once the guards are certain that no one escaped, the inner steel grill door is opened and we step out. In the next few minutes we empty our toilet bowls and wash our faces before being escorted to the main hall for breakfast. After breakfast, we are lined up in squads. The squads are then marched off to perform various menial tasks. By mid-afternoon, we return to our cells, tired, sweaty and dirty. A couple of minutes later, we are led out to join a long half-dozen prisoners on their way to a small bathroom. Over here we are allowed to have a bath twice a week, though not on Sundays and holidays. I am glad today is my shower day. The last time I bathed was on Monday and I can't stand this awful smell coming from my skin, a smell like rotting fish. After showering, we have lunch, then there's another head count and we are sent back to our cells. You've been too quiet today, Autumn. Are you okay? Grubby asks. She is braiding one of our cellmates' hair. I woke up feeling sad and lonely. This day brings back so many memories. 3 years ago on this day I said I do to a lifetime of love and companionship with Oscar. I walked down the aisle with a heart filled with excitement for an amazing future. There's so much that Oscar and I had planned to accomplish together. None of them included death and prison. I've been trying not to think too much about my wedding day. Not succeeding, but it's easier to pretend it didn't happen. After Oscar asked me to be his wife, his people met mine and the marriage arrangements immediately began. We were married 3 months later in a small colorful ceremony attended only by close family and friends. As a husband, Oscar was amazing. What made him even more perfect was how he loved Evangeline and treated her like his own. He was the only father that Evangeline got to know, and I must say he set the bar so high with her. The two bonded quickly and became such great friends. It didn't take long for Evangeline to start calling him Dad. Oscar and I often talked about having a big family. We both wanted a lot of children, and when we got married, we immediately started trying to conceive our first child together. When I found out he had been putting birth control pills in my tea, I was confused. I still am. I didn't confront him then because I wanted to see the look on his face when I announced I was pregnant, but fate had other things in stock. I regret not asking him about the birth control pills because now I will never be able to get answers. I ask myself every day why he always pretended that he wanted children with me when he was preventing it from happening behind my back. And then I still have questions about the accident. Oscar died on a Thursday. He left home that morning saying he was going for work, but surprisingly the accident happened in a place that was very far from his workplace and he wasn't alone. There was another thing too. The time he left home and the time the accident happened didn't tarry. He left home at 7:30. He was supposed to be at the office by 8:30. The accident happened around 10 hours. He had not yet arrived at the office then. I also made some phone calls and tried to inquire from his workplace if he had any meetings that day away from the office. I was told Oscar wasn't supposed to be at work the day he died. He had gotten a few days off work. So where was he going? Why did he lie to me? And why was he with her? And why would he put me in a position that would later get me arrested? I have never voiced these questions out loud because in my daughter's eyes, Oscar was an amazing father and I didn't want to erase that image of him from her mind. And for my own sanity, I still want to believe there's an explanation to every question running through my mind. I will never be able to get answers to these questions though, and I have to make peace with that fact. The last image I have of Oscar is that of an amazing husband and father. I want it to remain that way. It's one of the reasons I didn't ask too many questions. Birth to Autumn. She clicks her fingers in my face, startling me out of my reverie. Are you okay? What's on your mind? I am fine, Ruby. I lie. She is about to say something when the door opens. Autumn, you have a visitor, the guard says. You and visitors, Ruby says. I laugh as I head out. I get the most visitors in this cell. I feel sorry for Ruby because she never gets any visitors. She says her family disowned her after she killed her husband. Most of them didn't even attend her court sessions. When I get to the visiting area, I spot Sky instantly, but it's not just her. It's Sky and a baby. My baby Peace. Over the last 12 months they have brought me photos of Peace. I have also watched videos of her, but this is the first time I get to see her in person. I quickly walk to her table and Sky stands up. Hey Autumn. Hey, I say, staring at Peace. She has Oscar's eyes. At the thought of Oscar, sadness sweeps through me, knowing he will never get to meet his daughter. Autumn, your baby Peace. Peace, this is Autumn, your mother, she says to her as if she can understand. Hey baby, I excitedly say, and Peace reaches her arms out to me. Happy, I let her come to me and pull her against me. I am glad I took a bath, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to hold her. She cries a minute later and I hand her back to Sky, who instantly soothes her. Hey baby, Sky says, playing with her cheeks, and Peace instantly giggles up at her. Peace seems like such a happy child. I stare at how comfortable she is with Sky. She obviously thinks that's her mother. A stab of jealousy pings me in the chest. It's unfair that I won't be available for any of her firsts. Has she said any words yet? A couple, but what comes out of her mouth mostly is still gibberish. Mama Hyde and Papa J pass their regards. They couldn't come today. Preparations for Evangeline's graduation. Still can't believe my baby is finally done with high school. I know, right? She was just a little girl a few years ago. Where did all the time go? How is Copper? Copper is great. He will be in the country next week for Autumn's graduation. You two have really been amazing. I don't know what I would have done without your support. You made this load lighter for Mama Hyde and Papa J. Don't even mention it. I know if roles were reversed, you would do the same for me. Without a doubt. So I have been talking to some people. We are trying to see if you can get out before the 5 years expires. I am trying to get you on the presidential pardon list for good behavior. Really? Yes, nothing much has been done, but I am hopeful we shall get a good response. I will forever be indebted to you, Sky, if you do that for me. It's not just me, it's all of us. Mama Hyde, Papa J, Cooper. And I know you also said I shouldn't go snooping around, but I can't help it, Autumn. You were unjustly arrested. We need to look for answers. Where in God's name will you find those answers? Oscar is dead and his sister can give us answers. Bernice, what makes you think she will talk? Has she even come over to see Peace? No, she hasn't, but there should be a way for her to give us answers. The answers to the questions I have can only be answered by Oscar. Bernice might have been his sister, but I don't think it's fair for us to put that much pressure on her. It's not her fault that Oscar was a scammer. I hear you. Anyway, I have some bad news. Is there anything as bad as me being in here? The bank sent the warning letters. They will start the foreclosure process on the houses. I suck in a deep breath. How did my parents take the news? They are angry. I never told my parents about the loan I took out for Oscar until recently. They will get over it, I guess. Hopefully. I spend over 30 minutes with Sky and Peace before they leave, and I am sent back to my cell. Asterisk. Ella B.